This week on Ikulu Weekly, President William Ruto began the week in Meru County, where he launched the third phase of the Human Wildlife Compensation Program, disbursing 950 million Kenyan shillings in compensation payments to affected communities. Later at State House, Nairobi, the president hosted a delegation from the Tony Blair Institute, led by its founder and former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Their discussions focused on enhancing cooperation in agriculture and information and communication technology. In his ongoing efforts to uplift the economy of the coastal region, President Ruto convened a meeting with leaders from coastal counties. He outlined the government's initiatives in agriculture, the blue economy, the maritime sector, historical land reforms, and the resolution of squatter issues. The president also bid farewell to India's outgoing ambassador to Kenya, Ms. Namagia Kampa, acknowledging her contribution to strengthening bilateral relations. During the National Prayer Breakfast, President Ruto urged leaders to unite, foster inclusivity, and build bridges that promote equality and prosperity for all Kenyans. He also addressed the 2025 African Chiefs of Defense Conference held in Nairobi, underscoring Kenya's commitment to regional peace and security. Early in the week, President Ruto met with a World Bank delegation led by Diame Diop, Vice President for Eastern and Southern Africa, and Kimau Fan, Country Director for Kenya. He also held talks with UN Habitat Executive Director and UN Under-Secretary General Ana Claudia Rosbach, reaffirming Kenya's strong partnership with the United Nations in sustainable urban development. In a separate meeting with African Inland Church bishops from across the continent, President Ruto praised the ongoing collaboration between the government and faith-based organizations in delivering healthcare and education services. Following the passing of celebrated Kenyan author Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the head of state conveyed his condolences to the family, honoring him as a towering intellectual whose legacy will endure. Later in the week, the president embarked on a development tour of Nyanza region. In Kisumu County, the head of state inspected the Lumumba Affordable Housing Project, commissioned Makasembo Phase 1 estate, broke ground for the Lake Victoria Marina Housing Project, and laid the foundation stone for Makasembo Estate Phase 3. Homa Bay County, President Ruto commissioned several key projects including the Last Mile Electricity Connectivity Project in Kanyamwa, the Mdiwa Technical Training Institute, Phase 1 of the Homa Bay Affordable Housing Project, the Homa Bay Fish Market, which will accommodate 400 traders, the 500 million shilling Homa Bay Pier, the tarmacking of both the Marindi Oria Bridge Road and the 18-kilometer Nyarach Nyaburi Oboke Rangwe Road, the newly constructed Rangwe Sub-County Headquarters, and the Kosiga Rangwe Asumbi Water Project. President Ruto wrapped up the week holding a meeting at State House with Umaru Yabre, President of Burkina Faso's National Council of State Security, who delivered a message of goodwill from President Ibrahim Traore. The head of state reaffirmed Kenya's warm and long-standing relationship with Burkina Faso, emphasizing strong bilateral ties in diplomacy, trade, cultural exchange, and broader areas of mutual cooperation. And finally, to enhance bilateral trade and investment, President Ruto hosted President Natasha Musa of Slovenia at State House, Nairobi, marking a significant step in strengthening Kenya-Slovenia relations. That's it on Ikulu Weekly this week. Join us next week for more.
Kenya, Kenya, Kenya taifa letu, Kenya, Kenya, Kenya nchi yetu, Kenya, Kenya, Kenya taifa letu, Kenya, Kenya, Kenya nchi yetu, Kenya, Kenya, Kenya taifa letu, Kenya.